Hello, friends. What's up? I hope your day is treating you kindly. Please hit the subscribe button if you're watching from YouTube. If you're checking this out on TikTok, hit follow to keep up and stay connected. I'm a little under the weather today, so please bear with me. I'm Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Welcome on in. Luka Doncic is on a mission. This feature story from Man's Health, which describes his chiseled body, a story of his relentless discipline and grind. The results are very encouraging. Like, we talked a lot about Luka after the shocking trade that sent him to LA. What do you need to do in terms of taking care of your body? What areas can you improve your game? You need to lose weight. You need to be more of a two-way player and show some level of consistency on the other end of the floor and at least put a hand in somebody's face and contest shots. The next step for Luka Doncic is clearly getting in shape and being ready for this season. So he is looking great. If this is not photoshopped and actually true about him, in which he appears to have shed weight and added muscle, I'm just going to say it right now. We might as well just call this a revenge tour for Luka Doncic. After facing criticism for his fitness and conditioning, Luka Doncic has been showing off his transformation on the cover of Man's Health magazine. Something I need to be doing. I need to hit the gym, hit the weights. I mean, we see him on the front cover of Man's Health magazine, right? Maybe he's sick of everybody talking about how fat he is. Finally, he's cutting back on the candy bars and choosing the all-you-can-eat salad bar instead. It's going to benefit him in the long run. For him to look as good as he does health-wise and in terms of dropping some pounds says a whole lot about just how serious he is about winning a championship. We're going to see what he's going to be after transforming his body. We've already seen the before and after pictures. This guy is ripped. I'm saying this right now. For a guy that was overweight and still playing top level basketball, especially when he first came over from Dallas in the trade, looking at his overall numbers, what he was able to do being out of shape, I thought he played really, really well. And now, look at him now. He's ready to be that guy for the Los Angeles Lakers, which is why they traded for him as they usher in a new era with Luka Doncic. You have to show a little bit of patience. And, we're so starved for a winner around here that our patience has worn thin. And I get it. That doesn't mean Luka can't get back to where he was. That doesn't mean he can't be the next Lakers player to solidify his case as a top 5 Laker and cement his place in franchise history. He's spending this time, the offseason, wisely, making great use of his time by slimming down. And I think it's appropriate for me to say this. If he's extremely fit coming into next season and looks anything like he does on the front cover of Man's Health, I think circumstances change. So we would have to shift gears. I think you have a chance to go to the playoffs and then some. The Lakers, to me, are a real threat. His transformation puts them in a conversation for a playoff spot. Now, I don't want to say anything like they're going to win the West because, as we know, the West is stacked and loaded. I have to put the OKC Thunder ahead of them. I have to put the Houston Rockets at number 2. Then third on the list would be the Denver Nuggets. Minnesota Timberwolves are another team that will be a top-seeded team. The Dallas Mavericks, his former team, can't forget about them. There's just a long list of teams that I get to before I get to the Lakers. I have to look down the list. I'm not saying they don't have a chance to get into the playoffs. I have a different perspective on this team because of the work Luka has put in this offseason. The league should be terrified of Luka Doncic next season. This is scary for the rest of the league. And while I understand the results may not be there and that he doesn't, have the best supporting cast around him, man, I can already picture what he's going to look like next season. If he was dropping 30 points, if he was scoring at will, if he was putting up triple doubles and all that while smoking hookah and drinking beer on his personal time, imagine what he could be next season. I think he could easily average somewhere around 34, 35 this season, been in shape, and even get some of his dunking ability back. We're about to get a player who is going to play with a vengeance we've never seen before. If he can stay hyper-focused, watch what he eats, not consume alcohol, and work on his conditioning and body the way he has to strengthen his game, he's going to be the most dangerous offensive player, a scoring machine. You don't understand how good Luka Doncic is going to be, but you're about to. Luka's weight loss should be changing our perspective of a player who came into last season with the Dallas Mavericks out of season. I'll tell you why the Lakers are going to be a legit threat next season. And look, I think it's interesting because we as basketball fans are very high on Luka. I know I am. I rather, see him get in shape and, whether it's his style of play, how he plays, whether it's how he's viewed, how his game is consumed, or how he is evaluated, how we evaluate him. When Luka is at his best, he's a top 5 player in this league, easily. And Laker fans will tell you that Luka is a very good player offensively because he has a high energy motor with a lot of skills. So if he plays up to his potential, he can be a superstar because he has the physical traits and the capacity to take over games. And if that's what you're going to get from him, an elite scorer who can put the ball in the basket, score efficiently from all 3 levels, I dare I say, the Lakers are going to compete for a playoff spot. Their chances will be better next year with Luka if he's lost weight, if he's gotten himself in shape, and if he's put the work in to get his body in shape. Proper nutrition, regular workouts, discipline. This offseason, just from what we've seen, looking at him on the front cover of this magazine or from pictures on social media, he has taken pride in watching what he eats, making sure he is in the best shape of his life. Little details make big differences. It's going to help him elevate his game tremendously. You get out of the game what you put into it. Since early June, Luka, he's been locked into his fasting, cutting inflammation, and boosting recovery. And when you look at his body, that's the type of player every NBA player should strive for. This could paint the picture going into this season. It tells us a whole lot that he's locked in and loaded. Look, he can very well be carrying the torch next season. And in order to do that, he had to recalibrate his career, change his eating habits, train his mind to stay disciplined and focused on what needs to be done to get back to being his usual self when he first entered the league. I think as fans and sports media people, with a player that I think has cracked the top 10 list of the league. We can probably all admit that he's strong, athletic, skilled, competitive, talented, and intelligent. We can say all of that about him. I don't think we have anything to worry about with Luka in terms of his conditioning and productivity and physical traits. All that he needs to do now, because there is always something you can do better, and for him, that's to defend better. But I think he's going to turn the corner this season, and we're going to be like, man, he's a beast. I have zero worries about him, and you got to like what you're seeing from him this offseason if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, everybody, I'm out of here now. That's all I have for you guys right now. Really appreciate the love and support as always. If you guys like the content, if you guys like rocking with your boy, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button if you're watching this from YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, please follow. Thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Hope your Wednesday's going well. We'll talk again very soon. The Sports Judge is checking out.